Dumaguete City, a well-known university town in Negros Oriental, is home to thousands of students. It is recognized for its peaceful environment and strong academic presence. But for many students, school is not their only responsibility. When the city rests at night, they begin another role. As call center agents in the city's growing BPO industry, they answer calls from clients in other countries while most of their classmates sleep. And after a full shift, they go straight back to class, often with little or no rest. These students are not just earning extra money. They are working to stay in school, pay for rent, support their families, and survive each day. While professors deliver lessons, these students struggle to stay awake. Yet they are expected to keep up, to submit assignments, join group activities, and pass their exams. Behind their quiet faces are long hours of stress, exhaustion, and silent battles with their mental health. There are no special allowances, no flexible deadlines, and often no second chances if they fall behind. This is more than just a story about working students in Dumaguete. It is a story of sacrifice, quiet struggles, and a true cost of chasing a dream.
BPO companies have found fertile ground here, a city filled with young English-speaking talent, eager to work and willing to sacrifice. For students, these companies offer independence, income, and experience, but often at the cost of sleep, study, and stability. In this segment, we take a closer look at the different call center companies operating in Dumaguete City, the workplaces that shape the daily grind, the opportunities they provide, and the challenges they pose. We spoke to some of them, not just to hear their stories, but to understand the sacrifices they make just to stay afloat.
A graduating psychology student who is currently employed in a BPO company explores the quiet toll of juggling work and studies, an experience that reveals the hidden struggles behind the choice to pursue both.
My name is Keo, and I am actually a fourth year psych student, and currently I am working in a BPO company as a telephone sales representative.
While claiming to have adjusted to the routine, subtle cues in the tone and content of the answers suggest deep exhaustion and a desire for relief. But a journey comes with sacrifices, sacrifices that not everyone can afford to make.
I work at night from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. Then I go to my internship from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I cannot tungaon ako lawas, kapi nagalig work, kapi nagalig school, then mula out pa ko yung ana. So, there's a lot of sacrifices that you need to do when you are working or studying. Actually, karon kay, I think burnout na gyapon ko. Like, when I wake up in the morning kay, I feel like kapoy kay ko, and signs of burnout, nga na. Then, I know nga dugay ko siya mawala. But it's up to you naman po if, how will you handle those stress. Tapos ganyan lang good siya, then, dili good siya para sa tanan. Physically, yes, because lack of sleep, there's a lot of especially wala kay tulog, then you mo intern ko, so say malutang ko yung then mo affect ko siya sa ibang nawong kay imong ibag sila ko lang
The voice of this student echoes a quiet warning that no ambition should come at the cost of one's well-being. This is the reality that many choose to endure, not because they want to, but because they have to. At a time when education is said to be a right, many students are forced to treat it as a privilege, something to be earned not just through effort, but through endurance. Among them is a third-year student juggling customer service duties with academic deadlines. The decision to work was not one of a choice, but of necessity. With little to no financial support, employment became the only way forward.
I am Karen. I am 20 years old. I am pursuing my bachelor's degree in office administration. I am also a full-time customer service representative. I decided to work while studying because it wasn't really because I have a choice. My parents could not finance my study. And seeing things are really hard for them. So seeing those, like, they are doing their best to provide food on the table, keeping our family intact. So seeing those right then and there, I really think that there is a really need for me to step up.
Burnout is constant. In school, there is disengagement. In the office, there is numbness. The routine of waking up, showing up, and holding back breakdowns becomes the norm. When relief is needed most, isolations become the only escape.
Well, no lies, it isn't really that easy. Every day is a struggle. I felt overwhelmed to think that my shift ends at 6 and then I would go home thinking that I would have a good rest or a good sleep. However, I would remember that I still have classes at 8 and then I still have pending tasks and activities to do. So it is really overwhelming, especially the pressure from my classmates.
This is not resilience. This is endurance, born out of economic inequality and institutional silence. Working students are not empowered. They are exhausted, unsupported, and stretched beyond reason.
Physically, it is really draining as well as mentally. Kay kanang physically, like murag natulog ka pero wala gyapon kay pag mata nimo kapoy gyapon kaayo, and then if katulugon sad ka dili pud ka makatulog nga na ba, and then murag ako batik naguba na siya, di na ako katulog sa saktong kuan jud. And then also mentally kanang dapat pag krisan usahay na gani kay magtanga na lang jud ka kuan manata ka silipan nagtuyo wala na kay imong like imong lawas kay nagbahuway pero imong upo kay naghala ako nga galapon kay kapoy kayo hala ako mga kuan akong metrics. My God.
If there is one lesson in this testimony, it is this: no one should be forced to choose between rest and survival. Yet for many, that is the only choice that exists. Until systems change, these students will continue to suffer in silence, fighting battles no syllabus prepared them for. With years of experience in counseling and a background in psychology, this faculty member reveals the unsettling truth behind what many view as resilience. What we hear may be uncomfortable, but it is the reality that too many are forced to endure.
I would notice talaga, they're different kasi I would notice na yung physical symptoms of pagod talaga. They may be physically present but they're mentally absent. I have few encounters of students who would fall asleep talaga in class. And then they would reason out na, ma'am, gikan ko duty sa work, ma'am. So, of course, you would understand, but I don't see the point of them coming to school. Then they would just, they're exhausted talaga. Makikita mo yung kanilang fatigue, pagod. You would notice na they find it difficult to focus and to concentrate because, they should be sleeping after working. Diba?
The struggle isn't imagined. In classrooms, fatigue is visible. In submissions, delays become routine. While the world praises resilience, inside the students are cracks of exhaustion. One educator from the psychology department offers a sobering account of what it really looks like when education and employment collide.
It's not just the delay in submission of requirements. I would say they have difficulty concentrating. There's also lack of motivation. Parang makikita mo na they're out of focus. They're trying their best to keep up with the demands also ng academic. Of course, they're also keeping up with the demands ng work. here in school, there's also a chunk of demands. It's sad to say, some of them decided to drop in the middle of the semester because they can no longer keep up with the demands. If you can't keep up with the demands and responsibility of both as an employee and as a student, you have to give up one over the other, depending on saan ang kanilang mas priority.
When a system forces young minds to choose between survival and learning, something is deeply broken. Dropping out becomes a necessity, not a decision. Fatigue becomes normal, not an exception, and isolation creeps in, replacing once vibrant student communities with silence.
Never and ever ignore na napapagod ka, na nasistress ka. No? You have to listen to what your body is telling you. Walang madali sa buhay. No? Ang importante, you never give up. You keep on pushing yourself, but you also have to be kind to yourself. You have to know your limits also.
In the shadows of every diploma chased through overwork lies a truth we must confront. Are we nurturing futures or burning them out before they begin? Ashley, 22 years old, was previously enrolled as a third-year student. Due to personal and financial circumstances, she made a decision to discontinue her studies.
I then tried juggling my job and then working on studies. In the morning, I'll go to the school to, of course, work on my academic. Wala dyan ko'y tulog. So, wala ko'y tulog, and then I have to be attentive as well because I cannot just go to school without putting my attention to it. During the projects, field work, speaking of, that's when I experienced hard time.
Not every student who enters college gets to stay. Some arrive with hope, only to be met by a reality far more demanding than anticipated.
Then I stopped because of personal matters. It's more of a family problem with a mixture of financial problem and everything. So it led me to put my studies on hold because of priorities. In terms of regrets, there's a lot. Because again, I've already delayed my studies for a year when I worked. And now that I stopped for the second sem, in my third year, there's a part of me that's still regretting. But then I cannot also waive my fate because I cannot push something that is already not applicable for life state or state of life. I am here still thinking of how to survive and how to get back to my studies while still working. It makes me sad because I know I can do better, but I also cannot override or overpower myself because I'm not physically fit at all. Anyway, since it was my first job, oh come on, that was 6 months of hell. I kept on working still until I got sick.
There is no shame in stopping, no weakness in stepping back. But the question remains, why must young people be pushed this far just to afford an education? Not everyone makes it through. Some barely hang on, and even then, they are expected to keep smiling. For many working students, the promise of flexible employment in business process outsourcing companies is quickly overshadowed by toxic environments, emotional distress, and systemic issues that leave more harm than help.
It's also scary to have a mistakes. Kay if maka-mistake ka, more on like pakawalawan ka or something. So usually among i-mute ang among call and then mo syagit na lang. Like hilom siya nga syagit. Within yourself siya nga syagit. Like mura na kag manggigil and then mo balik na kag smile na lang balik. Kaya na naman jud ang life. And also environment nila, it dili kay siya hygienic, especially silang canteen. Every tables nimo nga kananan kay dagan jud siyang cockroach.
With nowhere to turn, some employees relied on silent internal coping mechanisms, pretending, muting calls to release frustration quietly, and convincing themselves that the treatment was not personal. This became daily survival tactics. Absurdly, it was those in higher managerial roles, such as human resource and supervisors, who treated workers with more decency and professionalism. In contrast, some team leaders, despite having lower ranks, fostered a culture of fear and superiority.
Mas okay pagbatasan ng HR kaysa sa TL. I don't know why nga mas taas mong tag-position ang mga HR or supervisors kaysa sa mga TL. Pero sila may mas dali nimong ma-approach. Maybe because gamay sweldo ang TLs mo na inana sila koan attitude nimo. Pero sa experience mas okay i-approach jud ang HR or mga higher positions gani nga mga supervisors kay like they treat you very well. They treat you like co-workers, dili kay murag alagad lang. So they treat you like equally. Some of us wala na mo nakuha ang complete salary nga ilang gingon namo. So very questionable jud ang ilang system ato kay lahi-lahi man sila explanation sa ilang HR o sa ilang dito sa ilang cashier or something.
What began as an attempt to earn a living turned into a disheartening lesson in exploitation, mismanagement, and emotional fatigue. Promises made were not kept. Expectations set were not met. While financial necessity may force some to return, trust in the system has already been broken. For many working students, including this one, the BPO experience serves not as a stepping stone, but a warning. A reminder that beneath the polished branding of opportunity lies a system that too often fails those who need support the most. In this interview, a call center supervisor opens up about the harsh truth of what students go through while working in this demanding environment.
My name is Leonard Gil Macalino. I'm 26 years old. So I've been working in call center for 2 years and 7 months now. And also I've been a operations supervisor for 1 year and 2 months now. If i-ratio natin percentage, siguro mga 40% or 30% out of 100 sa site, working students sila. Siyempre, student sa umaga, center agent sa gabi. So they tend to be, hago, stress, like luya guys sila. When we found out that the agent is a working student, so we prioritize the opening shift para nila. Then they are also prioritized if when it comes to mga emergency na under time, things like that. Para dili pud makabigil sa ilang pag-skill. Of course, the main reason why they work is to support their studies man. It's a matter of perspective man God. So, honestly, being a team lead or supervisor, grabe kayo ka-pressure mga managers when it comes to performance. But, hindi mo kasi pwedeng gawing punching bag yung mga agent mo sa stress. I know it's very difficult na idungan ng trabaho at the same time ng eskwela. So, although you badly need the funds, but please prioritize niyo ang health.
There are no official programs to help working students, no counseling, no flexible learning support, not even healthcare specific to their needs. The only real support is the paycheck, and even that comes with the cost of physical and mental exhaustion.
Though kayo tabang ang call center sa mga, not just in students, but all, when it comes to career growth yun. Aside sa funds, ma-improve mo good nimo na yung mga communication skills. And we'll have a better understanding man po sa, not just on the, ato ang culture na Pinoy. Once you converse to a different kind of, different types of races, dito nimo masabtan na diverse kayo ang batasan sa Western culture po. Then, ma-adapt to nimo. Eventually, magamit po din mo siya. Sa imo life po, like how will you communicate suddenly if na kayo may ngani. So, it's a better communication din.
We spoke with a licensed psychologist, a mental health advocate, leading one of the few institutions offering support in the region. What she shares is a reflection of the deep ongoing crisis faced by youth who are expected to function under constant pressure, with little to no systemic care.
Well, I would say that it's very challenging in a way, considering that mental health really is something that are seldom being talked by many. Many are afraid of seeking help. It's because of the stigma and embarrassment. You know, the most important thing is to be listened. Masin na kung wala kay makuha nga response sa tao nga kanang imong kaistorya, but the thought that you are being listened is more than enough. I think kanang giingon gali nila na gitagaan tag pribilehiyo nga naatay mga leave credits. That is something that we have to grab. Importante na siya for our mental health. If you feel like you have to rest for the day, then go on a vacation leave. Take that as an opportunity. You also have to listen to your body itself. We are into prevention rather than intervention, so we really work hard on educating the people that when we speak about mental health, it's still part of health because there is no health without mental health. You know, not necessarily naana ang toxic person, naala na siya present sa BPO. Everywhere we go, there is really a toxic people that we deal with. Even ourselves, sometimes we tend to point other people that they are like this, pero kita da ang may pagkukulang. What's more important is to be aware, to be resilient. That is very important. We really have to be flexible. Kay there are, present na sila. So, what's more important is to empower ourselves, to empower our mental health. Okay, these are something that we likely to avoid, that we cannot avoid.
In the end, the emphasis falls on self-regulation, on knowing one's limits and goals. But in reality, this outlook reveals a deeper issue. Mental health care is treated as a personal task rather than a collective responsibility. According to the Commission on Higher Education, there are around 216,000 students in the Philippines who are juggling school and employment. Most of these students turn to BPO industries where employment and a good salary is promised. The Philippine BPO industry in the country employed around 1.82 million full-time workers as of the year 2024. The contractual, part-time, and seasonal workers aren't part of that count. Unfortunately, they cannot concentrate on their studies, some because of poor health and others give up because of financial reasons. That leads to only half of the huge population to finish college. According to the Philippine Journal of Science in 2020, a survey of call center workers in the Philippines found that insomnia affected 93% of respondents, while 96% reported experiencing headaches and back pain, which are often linked to mental health struggles.
As we end this report, we are reminded that their stories are not isolated. They reflect a growing reality, one that calls for empathy, support, and real change from both institutions and society. This is Giselle B. Pitancho, and this has been your glimpse into the lives behind the headset. Because behind every answered call is a dream on hold.